Thank you again for joining us at the Proud Mary Summit. This is Ellice Darien. Our company is DarienDirect.com. We are natural bath and beauty products. And one of the sponsors that we have today is Your Paperless Office. You can find them at yourpaperlessoffice.net. What I love about Your Paperless Office is they are virtual assistants. We are taking care of our branding, our marketing, and our revenue. And what better than to have another company take care of all the incidentals. That's what I call them. Getting your paperwork out, managing your books. And this is what Your Paperless Office does. One of the people that we have as our experts is Dr. Shante Bishop. Dr. Shante Bishop has her company and it's called the Design Her Label LLC. Let's talk about her specialties. I'm going to read it off, which you can definitely see on our page. Transformational speaking, brand leveraging, overcoming fear, thought leadership, women in leadership, strategic partnerships, audience growth strategies, mindset coaching, revenue growth, content marketing development, social media, and youth empowerment. She is a powerhouse and I'm so glad she's joining us. And of course, I want you to hear a beauty tip from Kay Thompson.
Hi ladies, this is Kay Thompson, self-taught makeup artist with another tip of the day. With your eyebrows are the focal point on the face. You want to make sure that they're very clean and they're very neat. When you're filling in your brows, make sure you stay within your natural brow pattern. Don't try to go too far outside of that. You can also use concealer to help clean up any uneven edges and things like that. You definitely want to make sure that your brows are lining up properly, so they should not go any far past the corner of your nose, and they should not begin anywhere outside of where your tear duct area is.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shante Bishop, CEO of Design Her Label, and I'm very excited to have been asked to be a part of the Proud Mary Summit. Thank you guys so much for having me. I don't have a lot of time with you guys today, so I want to jump straight into our content for today. And as I thought about what was I going to talk about, what was I going to share, what do I think would have the biggest impact right now? And it actually came to me a couple of days ago. I got an email from a former student of mine, and she says, Dr. Shante, how do you stay motivated? I'm going through a really difficult time right now, and I'm struggling with some things. And when I thought about that, about some of the common struggles of women who are pursuing their passion, that are pursuing their dream, whether you're a blogger or you're a businesswoman or an entrepreneur and you're really trying to get things going, you're really trying to get things off the ground, one of the biggest things that can totally destroy our momentum and kind of kill our confidence is the topic I want to talk about today, which is comparison. We have all been there. If we are being completely honest and transparent, who has looked at somebody's brand, somebody's business, somebody's blog and been like, you kind of get like this pang of like blog envy, like, oh my gosh, this woman is like just doing it, like she is crushing it. And you look at your blog and it's like, it's not there. The pictures aren't as crisp, or the colors aren't as sharp, or it seems like, she's got all of these people, commenting on her stuff and she's got all these followers. And we start to look at where we are and it's not intentional, but something happens to us psychologically, this piece of social comparison where we start to second guess ourselves. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to wonder whether or not we're really cut out for what it is that we aspire to do. Because when we look at other people's successes and they don't look like our success journey, then we start to doubt. And when we start to doubt, then we go into despair. And then when we go into despair, we can spiral down into things like depression, which is very serious. So I wanted to give you some encouragement today and also give you some perspective about comparison so that you can have confidence when you're building your brand, building your blog, building your platform, so that you have some clarity about where to go and how to stay out of comparison, how to stay really squarely in your lane so that you are not getting distracted and sidelined by every little shiny bell and whistle and new piece of technology that kind of comes to the forefront. So the first thing that I want to say about comparison is this. Every morning, every single morning, you should wake up and ask yourself this question: what am I grateful for? The number one thing that I can say helps me is staying in a space of gratitude. You can do a gratitude journal. You can do this in your phone when you wake up. But one of the major things that keeps me going and focused is, what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? When you really stop to think about everything that you have and everything that you've done and people in your life that support you and that love you and are pushing you and are rooting for you, when you start to make a list of some of the really wonderful things that are happening in your life, it's really kind of difficult to kind of go into the woe is me, because you are so blessed. You are so abundantly blessed with people and resources and things that others would absolutely love to have. So the first thing that I want to say is make sure that you stay in gratitude, in a space of gratitude. The second thing that I want to impress upon you is that your journey is unique. Your journey is your own. I think that many of you watching, I know I certainly can attest to the fact that we don't look like what we've been through. We have been through some things, some hurts, some heartaches, some stumbles, some things that we felt like we were hit by a bus and a train, and we didn't think that we would survive. We didn't think that we were going to make it, but we came through, and we have a testimony, and we have a message, and we have a spirit of survival and not just surviving, but thriving, saying that, you know what? I look back at what I used to be, at what I used to do, at how I used to think, at, the way that I used to look at myself and the types of things that I used to put up with. And I'm proud that I'm not that person anymore. Own your journey, own your story, because no matter what another person's blogging about, no matter what their pictures look like, the one thing that they cannot take away from you is your story, your journey, your testimony, your power, how you came to realize that you are bigger than your mistakes, that you are bigger than your past, that you have a future and you have a platform, and there are people that love you, that need what you have, in only the way that you can deliver it, and only the way that you can bring it. So own your uniqueness, be proud of who you are, own your story, and own your journey. Another thing I want to tell you with regard to, comparison, what I have seen. So what I do is I help entrepreneurs and social media influencers turn their creative ideas into branding strategies. And so in this very noisy world where people are competing for attention and airtime and airspace, what I do is I help them build that platform to rise above the noise. And what I have seen from the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful bloggers, the one thing that they have in common is consistency. Let me tell you something. It is very easy to get motivated. It is much more difficult to stay motivated. Okay. Just like at the beginning of the year, people are like, yes, new year, new me. I got this. I'm losing these 20 pounds. And then 3 weeks later, here come the ribs. Here come the donuts. Here come the, I'm going to slip up today, but tomorrow's another day. And we start to make these excuses. And then next thing you know, we haven't blogged in 3 weeks. We haven't posted anything on social media. And that's an absolute no-no. When you are trying to rise above the noise, when you are trying to build your platform and make sure that you are dominant in your industry, that you are dominant in your space, you have to be consistent. Meaning you can't go for weeks and weeks and not blog. You can't go for weeks and weeks and not post anything on social media. You can't go for weeks and weeks and not have any sort of interaction with your audience, because believe it or not, the people that follow you, the people that subscribe to you, they're counting on you. There's something of value that they see in you, and they look forward to it. Think about, case in point, I'll give you a perfect example. I remember a few weeks ago when the television show Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder and all of these Shonda Rhimes shows that come on Thursday nights, when they announced that they were going on winter break, and people were like, winter break? Winter hiatus, January 29th. Are you serious? What am I supposed to do for the next 6-8 weeks? People were disappointed. They were heartbroken because they're like, I'm counting on those episodes. I look forward to Thursday nights. Like, this is like an event for me. And it's the same way with your audience. People are counting on your blog. They're counting on your emails. They're counting on your social media posts. And when you go away and you're not consistent with those postings, what they do is they begin to look for others to fill that void. And so when you're looking at people that you think are successful, one of the things that you will notice is that they are consistent. So the third point I want to impress upon you when you're talking about comparison, not comparison for the sake of look at how my brand measures up to theirs, but when I'm talking about comparison, one of the things that you'll notice about people who are really successful is that they are consistent and they consistently give value to their audience. And when you are consistently giving value to your audience, when you are really committed to content and creating your authority through the value that you provide to your audience, it is extremely time consuming, and you don't have time to look at what somebody else's blog is doing or what somebody else's brand is doing, because you are squarely focused on the needs of your audience, the needs of people who are counting on you, and the needs of people who are depending on you to deliver. And the last point that I want to make about comparison. Oftentimes when people start blogging, or going into a business, they think financial freedom, fame and fortune, I'm going to start getting sponsors and I'm going to start getting endorsements and all of those bells and whistles look really, really sexy. The thing about it is that I have learned when you chase cash, you will burn out quickly. Instead of chasing money, you should be chasing credibility. You should be chasing authority. You should be chasing this top of mind awareness. And top of mind awareness is when people think of your niche, when people think of what you do, whether it's pies, whether it's cakes, whether it's makeup, whether it's branding, whether it's empowerment, when people think of that industry, when people think of that topic, you are one of the first people that comes to mind. When they think about people who inspire them, or people whose recipes they love, or people whose blog they love about a certain topic or focus, whether it's parenthood or whatever, top of mind awareness, that's what you should be chasing, because that means that when people go to Google you, you are the person that rises to the top of the Google results. Why? Because you've been consistent in giving your value and you've been consistent in establishing your credibility. Too often I see people who are chasing the dollar bills and they never get them. It's $50 here, it's $75 there, and they haven't blogged, they haven't written any articles, they haven't guest blogged for anybody, they haven't sent anything to their audience, and all of their social media is selfies. Hey, hashtag pick of the day, hashtag outfit of the day. That doesn't give value to your audience unless you are actually a fashion blogger and they care about your outfit. But those people that are looking for the fame and the fortune of it, rather than looking to be established, credible authorities in their industry, those are the people that burn out quickly. But the ones who are consistently, slowly, steadily providing content to their audience, consistently giving value and chasing credibility, creating authority through the value that they provide to their audience, those are the ones that rise to the top. That is the cream that rises to the top. And so, ladies, I just want to leave this with you. I understand that blogging, being a business owner, heck, being a mom, a wife, a caregiver, a provider, it doesn't get any easier. And we start to wonder whether or not the time that we're putting forward is really worth it. Because think about it, blogging is optional. We don't have to do that. Starting a business, that's optional. Nobody's forcing us to do that. But the reason why we do this work is because there's a calling in our hearts to serve people. There's a calling in our hearts to share our gifts with the world. There's a calling in our hearts. And when you follow the calling in your heart and you're committed to the calling in your heart, then you don't have time to be in comparison. Don't compare yourselves to other people. If anything, if you see somebody doing well, encourage them. Don't throw shade. Don't talk about them, because I firmly believe that the energy that you put out is the energy that you attract. And so when you have an attitude of negativity, you will attract negative people to you. But when you have an attitude of gratitude, that you're grateful for the things that you have and grateful for the people that do follow you, that do support you, that puts you in a mindset of abundance and growth instead of negativity and a desert of despair and bitterness. So I want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to talk to you today. I want to salute all of the other speakers and presenters in the Proud Mary Summit. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of 2015. Instead of wishing you a happy new year, I'm going to wish you a happy new yes. Yes to prosperity. Yes to abundance. Yes to new opportunities. And yes to jumping out of your comfort zone. And yes to creating the authority and the value that only you can give to the world. Bye.